Not many leaves left on the trees here in southern New Hampshire.
No, right now that it's November, the season's changing. Halloween's behind us, Thanksgiving's coming up, but there's still plenty of fall things to do.
Sure. Yeah, pretty soon we'll be holiday baking.
Got a favorite pie?
Pumpkin, hands down.
Okay.
Then maybe Boston cream pie, and then cheesecake, if that counts as a pie, right?
Sure, I guess. But I'm totally with you on the pumpkin pie. For me, it's a tie between apple pie and pumpkin pie. And pumpkins, that's the reason we're driving up Route 31 just south of Greenfield, New Hampshire today.
Well, there's plenty of farm fields around us now. Is there a pumpkin patch nearby?
Well, there could be, but that's not quite why we're here. We're searching for a place where pumpkins came to die in a truly spectacular way. We're searching for where large groups of people watched as some local farmers went medieval on some helpless pumpkins. Grab your suit of armor, Ray. We're in Greenfield, New Hampshire to go punkin' chunkin'. Hi, I'm Jeff Belanger, and welcome to episode 323 of the New England Legends podcast.
And I'm Ray Auger. Thanks for joining us on our mission to chronicle every legend in New England one story at a time. We love all things weird, haunted, monstrous, and out of this world. And we love when you tell a friend or two about our show and when you post a review. That's how our audience grows and how we get new story leads.
Also, the free New England Legends app is back for both Android and iPhone. Yes. Thank you, Lauren Middleton, who developed the app for us. You can get access to all of our episodes, plus an interactive map to help you see each of these stories for yourself. Download it today for free in your app store.
All right, we're going to go looking for some medieval pumpkins right after this word from our sponsor. Okay, Jeff, I'm still trying to get my head around farmers going medieval on some pumpkins. What are we looking for?
No, I get it. This is a strange one that combines medieval technology, Yankee ingenuity, and a healthy dose of humor with an epic roadside oddity. Okay, so we just passed New Boston Road, so we're going to pull over just up there on the right, just off the shoulder.
Okay, there's some room for a car over here. Well, I could see a no trespassing sign.
Right.
And just ahead on this dirt road, I see a wrought iron gate and some rusted castle-like structures on either side of the gate.
This is the spot, Ray. And if you look just over there, you can see what we came here looking for.
Oh, yeah. It's like a strange-looking contraption. It's got a frame like an upside-down V. It sits on 4 large metal wheels, and it's got a tall metal spire at the top that looks like it's at least 50 or 60 feet tall. Oh, and at the bottom is a large kind of basket.
Yeah, that is a trebuchet. It's a specific type of catapult.
Okay, looking it up. The almighty internet says the trebuchet is a war machine invented during the Middle Ages around 1400 AD. It was designed to throw heavy stones against walls and enemy armies. It's tall, incredibly heavy, and requires hundreds of strong men to move it into a firing position. Okay, so it's like a catapult,
right?
But it uses counterweights to throw whatever is in the basket long distances.
Exactly. So that trebuchet over there was designed for throwing vegetables. And it did its job so well, it's a world record holder.
Really?
Yeah. Now, to see it in action, let's head back to the year 2004 and observe.
It's the summer of 2004 here in Greenfield, New Hampshire. Leave Get Out by JoJo is the #1 song on the charts. The economy is doing well, but still, people are always looking for a distraction.
And so is Steve Seegers. He and his family own and run the Yankee Farmer. It's a farm stand and nursery here in Greenfield. He's always looking for ways to draw in more customers. So one day he's watching a PBS special on old medieval weapons, specifically trebuchets. Now, though Steve isn't an engineer, he's handy. He thinks it could be fun to build something like that, so he gets to work. And pretty soon the idea catches on with his family and his neighbors.
In the coming weeks and months, Steve studies the design. He gathers materials, mostly steel, and construction continues. He adds 4 giant metal wheels to roll this medieval weapon. The machine itself is 10 feet tall and weighs 26 tons.
Wow.
The throwing arm is over 60 feet tall, and the counterweight basket is filled with 10 tons of rocks. When the machine is finished, Steve christens it Yankee Siege.
Oh, that's a great name.
It is. It's now October of 2005, and his farm stand has quite the roadside attraction. In an empty field across the road from his farm, Steve plans to launch, well, stuff.
What kind of stuff?
Well, if you get a machine that can launch anything, why limit yourself?
Okay, that makes sense.
Couches, TV sets, a refrigerator. Anything is fair game if it fits in the launching basket. But there's one projectile that gets the most traction.
Pumpkins?
Pumpkins.
Mm-hmm. So this roadside attraction is a hit. Dozens, then hundreds flock to this empty field to witness the display and the launch. Let's watch.
Okay, the trebuchet is loaded. They've got some ropes and pulleys to lock down the basket into place. We're standing maybe 100 feet away with a crowd as one of the staff is getting ready to pull the rope. Whoa! That's amazing.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Okay, so there's a castle-looking structure way on the other side of the field, and that pumpkin was launched over 100 feet high, and it made a distance of over 1,200 feet. That's almost a quarter mile.
As word spreads, people are stopping by from miles around to see Yankee Siege do its thing. And business for the farm stand, well, business is booming.
Of course. There isn't much else around here. So people see the launch, and they buy something from the stand. It's a business plan as old as time. Give people a reason to come by, and they'll likely buy something.
So the Yankee Siege has been launching pumpkins for a few years now when Steve Seegers catches wind that other people around the country are also launching pumpkins.
This is a thing.
In fact, there's an annual pumpkin launching competition in Delaware.
So from here, we're going to jump ahead to November of 2009. It's the Punkin Chunkin World Championship. The Science Channel's covering the event, and folks in Greenfield know that they need to haul this beast of a machine down to Delaware. There's a world record that needs breaking.
So the Seegers haul Yankee Siege down to Delaware and reassemble their imposing machine that towers above the other entries. Finally, it's their turn to launch. The 9-pound pumpkin is loaded in. Whoa, look at that go.
Man. Whoa. So by the time the pumpkin lands, it's 2,034 feet away.
Wow.
A new world record and more than a third of a mile. No one else in the competition even comes close.
And frankly, the other trebuchets look like toys compared to the Yankee Siege.
With the competition won, Yankee Siege is loaded back home for Greenfield, New Hampshire, where it goes back to work, launching Granite State pumpkins. And that brings us back to today.
Yankee Siege brought in visitors for about a decade and a half. There were regular demonstrations on the weekends in October, but the trebuchet was shut down for good in June of 2019. Steve Seegers retired, and the farm moved on.
So today, Yankee Siege sits there rusting behind those castle gates. You can only view it from the side of the road, but there was a time when it launched pumpkins a quarter of a mile away. A roadside oddity built by a farmer who took his attraction to a worldwide level. I mean, if you're going to build a trebuchet, why not build it bigger and better than all the rest?
Those pumpkins never stood a chance. And that brings us to After the Legend, where we take a long look at this week's story and sometimes misfire.
So After the Legend's brought to you by our Patreon patrons. Our patrons are the best. They support us in everything that we do, each and every story, and they help make New England Legends even bigger and better. They help with our hosting, production, marketing, and travel costs. Couldn't do this without them. It's only $3 a month, and for that you get early access to new episodes, plus bonus episodes and content that no one else gets to hear. Just head over to patreon.com/New England Legends to sign up. And if you want to see some pictures and a YouTube video to watch the Yankee Siege in action, click on the link in the episode description or head to our website and click on episode 323.
This is fun. I've seen these before. I didn't realize that they originated here in New England, but why not?
Well, I mean, the medieval Europe is where...
Well, of course,
yeah,
yes.
But
the launching of the pumpkins,
great.
The world record, the competitions.
Yeah, love that.
You see them on ESPN, the Ocho, a lot.
Right.
A whole day of it.
these weird things. But what I mean, it's just physics, right? So a catapult, and I learned a lot, right? So a catapult just uses the tension of the rope.
Sure.
Pull something back and then launch it.
Yep.
But the trebuchet is more physics. It's like, it's like a sling, where the weight throws the other thing. And really impressive. Like, go watch this YouTube video that we posted to our website. It's wild. Right?
And you got to stay clear of this thing.
It's not accurate.
Even a catapult.
Right.
But just the way it swings is dangerous. And it could break apart at any time.
Right.
And with all that weight distributing in all these different directions.
Tons.
You gotta move.
Yeah.
You got to stand clear.
Literally tons.
I'm surprised there's not like a bunker that comes with this thing that you have to hide behind.
Well, they had hundreds of people that would come see this thing on weekends, and then I love the castle. So yeah, the old ones, the new ones, they're not terribly accurate,
right?
Because the missile, whatever that is, whether a pumpkin or rocks or whatever, they're not exactly aerodynamic. So they go where they go,
right?
And I mean, I guess if you just have a field of just thousands of soldiers, you don't care so much. Just
right, you're going to hit somebody, hopefully.
Yeah, you're going to get something. You're going to do some damage, but what a machine that. And then I love that someone was just watching TV and he's like, I could build that, but I'm going to go big. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And when you see the photo, we'll post this as well. There's a photo from the Delaware World Championship where you see, I mean, probably like a line of 15 or 20 trebuchets. Yankee Siege is 4 times larger, 5 times larger than the next biggest. They're all just these little wooden things.
Yeah.
And then you've got Yankee Siege. It's not even, forget it. I
mean,
if
you've never seen Yankee Siege, what would make you think to make one so big? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they thought theirs were big.
Well, I'm sure they were, well, like the physics, right? So, physics says if I have like a 10-foot arm, it's only going to get so much.
Yeah, the wider the better.
Right. Yeah. If you're going to go longer, you're going to need bigger and bigger.
But without seeing Yankee Siege, they thought they had the record set.
Like, we got this, high fiving each other, walking in with their 12-foot trebuchet. They're like,
and then they hear a tractor trailer come down the road.
Right. Like, there's got to be some entry music, right? Like,
like WWF or something.
Yeah. Right. And then you look over, you're like, there's no way we're winning this. Like, why launch?
Yeah.
Like, that trebuchet could launch our trebuchet, like, probably a quarter mile, right?
All in good fun, though.
Absolutely. But I love that people take the time to build these things. And it became a roadside attraction. And
which we love talking about.
We love that stuff, right? Someone put up something weird and it helped their business. And I mean, like when you go apple picking in the fall, there's the hayride. It's all a thing.
Yeah, you need that. It's not just about the apple picking. No. You need the cider, you need the donuts, and you need that hayride.
Did you apple pick if you didn't hayride?
No.
You didn't.
Why would you just go apple picking?
I know. If you go there and just get the bag and come home with apples, you didn't really pick apples.
Right. And I want to get my picture taken with the hole cut out of the farmer,
right?
Like poking at a squirrel or something.
Right. And you're in the tree.
And I'm in the head.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm in the tree and like there's a bear in the bottom and I stick my head in. It looks like I'm in peril.
Would Instagram survive if you don't post that? No, it just shut down.
So if they don't have that attraction, then I'm not going.
Right. And so you're like, hey, let's go to a farm stand this weekend. Like, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll get some fresh veggies or something for cooking. And that sounds really good. And I'm like, where do we go? Well, there's one where they launch pumpkins like a quarter of a mile.
Yeah.
Let's go to that one.
Do you think a daredevil has attempted to sit in one of these?
Oh.
And now that I've never seen.
Ray,
I've seen many of these videos.
What seed did you just plant?
I know, right?
Someone's listening going, huh.
It seems like the show Jackass, like something they would do.
Right. And that would be the end of the episode. I mean, you wouldn't survive.
No, and you have to have the right amount of weight, too. So it's all science, because if there's not enough weight, you're just going to get smashed into the ground.
If it can launch a refrigerator hundreds of feet, it could launch you hundreds of feet. And where are you going to land?
But what if there's not enough weight, right? So you go up, you don't really leave the catapult area.
Right.
You just smack down right on the ground.
Oh.
I would think there has to be some weight. I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
No.
Or a mathematician.
We shouldn't do this. This is a bad idea.
You like how I was trying to plan that out?
Let's edit this out. I don't want anyone
Don't
listening.
try this at home.
No, don't try it anywhere.
My God. Yeah, don't go to your neighbor's field and do it either. Look, not at home and not at your neighbor's house.
And I think one of the reasons that you've never seen someone do it is because, as anyone who's ever built or studied trebuchets will tell you, they're not accurate. If you want to put like a bullseye out there in the field, it's possible. Excuse me. You could hit it. I mean, it's theoretically possible.
I'm sure they've tried to do that.
I'm sure.
That could be part of the contest, too. How close can you get to the target?
Right. So if you launched a human that had to land in, say, a net, that net better be pretty wide.
Isn't that the same with a cannon, though? We've seen people shot out of cannons, and they usually land in the net.
Well, cannons are more accurate.
Are they?
Well, yeah.
I guess.
I mean, that's why they've
Back then, though, with the gunpowder, how much would you really... I mean, I guess you'd have to spend a whole war trying to figure out the right amount.
And they did.
Yeah, I had 2 handfuls in this one, and it went over the castle.
You learn.
So we're going to do 1 handful this time of gunpowder.
It's amazing the weapons that we've developed over the centuries, over the millennia, to kill each other.
Right.
You know, and
it was like the sharp, pointy thing wasn't enough.
Right.
It wasn't enough. They had to do something that went bang.
Yeah.
And then even that wasn't enough.
No. Now it's got to split atoms.
Right?
Right.
It's got to send you back in time or something.
It's got to like literally
freeze you.
Yeah, turn your land to glass,
right?
And vaporize everybody.
We're just never happy with our weapons. It's never enough.
What's enough? Never. Yeah. Nope. And they're still developing more.
Yeah.
But
well, somebody's home.
Oh, good.
Dog.
The dog. But yeah. So anyway, if you got a world record to set, why not build yourself a trebuchet? Love that.
If you've got a story you think we should check out, please reach out to us anytime through our website. Most of our story leads come from you, so please do speak up. Don't assume we've heard every story. Our website is also the place where you can find links to buy Jeff's latest book, The Fright Before Christmas, the 2024 Haunted New England calendar, and see dates for Jeff's story tour, and to see my band, the Pub Kings. Also, be sure to download our New England Legends app for your smartphone and subscribe to share our episodes. We count on you to grow.
We'd like to thank our sponsors. Thank you to our Patreon patrons. And our theme music is by John Judd.
Until next time, remember,
the bazaar is closer than you think.